And then these people in the media want to hold them to some kind of different standard. They expect them to be
perfect,
beyond perfect. Though you can't be perfect.
Yeah,
no one can be.
Welcome back to the X's and O's podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already listened to our previous episodes and watched the previous videos and all the other content that's out on YouTube, please do go have a look. In the room today, we got myself, George, the voice of reason. What's going on? We got the bronze one next to me. We got Bam Bam in the building.
Hi.
We got Mr. Selenkay.
What are you telling me, dog?
And we got Tinker. What's going on?
Hello.
You alright? Everyone good?
All good. All good in the hood, baby.
So we're going to talk about a bit of NFL today. We want to talk about why so many players seem to be so ill-disciplined, and that stems from a number of different things, whether it's like being arrested or let's say use of domestic violence or drugs or whatever it is. It just seems like every year there's always a new thing that crops up, whether it's what's the name of that guy, Josh Gordon, repeatedly being in the repeatedly offending and using marijuana, although it's now legal.
They're not testing.
Now there's no testing, so I think there's a certain fresh point you can be at before you're like fined or whatever. But we had some news come out about Darius Guice, who's been arrested for battery and strangulation. It's just mad, bro. I don't understand. Like, I guess I kind of do, but I don't. Like, some of these guys are coming from broken backgrounds, broken homes, but that's not an excuse to lash out or whatever. Like, if anything, surely, like, you would imagine, it's the same way that a lot of these players go. I think there's a stat that so many of them go broke within so long after their NFL careers because they don't handle it. Even it happened to Adrian Peterson. The guy is in debt to whoever and owes money to so many people, and this is a Hall of Famer. Like,
Martellus Bennett say that some Jay Cutler paid a £800,000 casino debt for him.
Who did that?
Martellus Bennett said it.
Cutler paid for Bennett.
Might have been, or someone. It was a quarterback that paid for a receiver's £800,000 debt.
Gambling debt,
yeah.
Wow.
And then even going back to Ray Rice when he beat his wife.
I think for me, I think that's where it not first started, but where I first started to hear about it, because that was a huge. I mean, he was in the Ravens, he was mashing work.
Ocho Cinco headbutting his girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
I didn't hear. Oh no, I didn't hear about Ocho Cinco. Yeah.
What's it called?
Kareem Hunt had his one, and
Kareem Hunt, Adrian Peterson. The one that I hated the most, Adrian Peterson beating his kids.
And that was the same with, I think they said the same for Tyreek Hill. No, they said he punched his child or something like that.
What was his reason for? Why did he do that?
Who, Tyreek or
Adrian Peterson?
Don't know.
He just did what every Nigerian.
He said he was just disciplining. What actually happened? I don't know.
But he just beat his kid with a wire.
A wire or a belt or whatever.
A belt, wire. Say it's all beating your kid in it. Don't get me wrong.
I think there's beating and then there's
but when it comes to sorry, go on. I know what you mean.
My friends have had stories,
I know
where it's borderline child, like borderline. Yeah. Friends are telling me that they've been beaten with multiple household items.
But your friends' parents aren't, national.
That's the other thing I was going to say. When you're in that kind of limelight,
when you're a professional,
doesn't mean you can't live your life, but it just means you're scrutinized
a lot more,
whatever you do. But it's just mad that, like, if it's not them going broke because they've trusted the wrong people or mishandled their money, or the agent has swindled them, it's battery or aggravation or assault or strangulation, like is the case with Darius Guice. Or it's just one thing after another, bruv. Like, you think these guys work so hard to get to where they're at. Honestly. Like, do you know the ratio of people that make it from college to NFL is less than 1% or whatever it is, bruv. And you get there, you finally get that deal, you make that contract, you get that money, you can help out your mom, buy the car, help out your family, your dad, whoever it is. Then you go do something like that. I don't understand it.
It just proves that money doesn't do anything for anyone. You can take the boy out of the hood, can't take the hood out of the boy.
I'd say I'd challenge that. I think money can be very evil sometimes. I think it can, what we're talking about here is obviously why there's so many NFL players doing this. And if it's a violent game, it attracts violent people. Let's not get it twisted. It's the same as mixed martial arts in any game. There's a high level of discipline. When you have something like the NFL, there's a large volume of players that come in and out every year. Some players just don't make it, even through college. There's like hundreds, thousands of college players that are just nowhere now. When you have that many people coming through the system, coming from the backgrounds that they come from, where they've grown up, they've seen all kinds of horrendous things that 90-something% of the population in America or the UK could never dream of seeing. They see that on a day-to-day basis. When you come from that kind of, it scars you.
Of course,
you have PTSD. And then furthermore, like they don't teach you in schools or in college how to handle that, how to handle PTSD, how to handle your finances. If a kid from the hood who grew up in or council estate, whatever their equivalent is of a council estate, all of a sudden gets a multi-million-dollar contract, they don't expect that to happen. They're not teaching kids this. They're not teaching them how to deal with their emotions or anything like that. So when it happens, it's like, right, it's not good. But what do you expect? What do you expect when there's that many people coming through?
It's true.
Additionally, I'm gonna say there's a race thing as well.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger, is that his name? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Big Ben.
That guy has rape charges against him.
I didn't know that.
Exactly. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
I did not know that.
He still plays.
From when? When is this?
Let me Google it. I'll get the facts while someone else is talking.
Damn.
But he had, and no one knows.
No,
I saw a meme about it, and I was like, oh, what's this? I looked into it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's still playing.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all. If you hadn't said that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the stuff with the Grugan family and the
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, imagine if that was a
black owner.
A black owner.
There's not even any black owners in the league anyway. That's the
what
thing.
happened with Kraft?
The prostitution.
Yeah, I don't even know what actually happened.
The banga parties that they have.
Yeah, whatever.
Honestly,
it is.
no, he went to go and get a happy ending in a
No.
Salad.
Yeah,
Massage parlor.
Do you think a lot of it is? You know what? Now you said the hood thing. Yeah. Do you think a lot of it is the lack of role models that they've had coming up? Because America's so big, so you could easily be from an inner city in a state whereby there's been no one, literally no one to have blown or to have been famous, and you find American football gives opportunity to literally anyone, freaks of nature. Someone could be born tomorrow and they're just a freak, and you know that guy's going to be an athlete of some form. So he's coming out from his area. He's earning X amount of money on his rookie contract. And outside of people on his team, maybe a good agent, if he's lucky to have had a good agent, he doesn't know how to manage his money. He doesn't know how to interact with the media, doesn't know how to interact with females. If all he's seeing is, as he's growing up, his father's beating up his mum every other night. That might be the norm. Exactly.
It's like
that might be the
subconsciously
ingrained
the
normal to him. Like, so, he signed his contracts, invites a female over to his hotel. Things go down, and he's like, oh yeah, like I can treat her like trash because that's what my dad done.
It's mad, bro.
It must be right,
especially if there was no consequences from what their parents done.
Yeah.
So,
but we know this. NFL prospects are always dehumanized.
Yes, but
because they walk around campus like they're the gods.
They get
they get
treated.
Are we helping them?
Treated, not paid.
They get treated like that as well.
Yeah.
Because I watched a lot of these college athletes. Their vlogs that they put on YouTube and how they get treated is very different to
college
to the regular college student. I was even watching Last Chance U, and one of the teachers called them, excuse my language, privileged pussies.
Who the players? I'm not that far ahead, but damn.
She called them because the privileges that they get for just being God gifted
athletes
is very different from what average American college student would get. My favorite ever quote ever saying, "It takes a village to raise a man."
Oh yes.
Going back to what Selenkay said, in your household, your mum and dad will never know the full extent of what you're doing outside of the household. Yeah. You could be the perfect child, and we've seen it happen. And rest in peace to everyone who has died from knife crime, gun crime, or violence. But we've seen it happen. Oh yeah. He was a perfect kid, helped in the community, was with the kids at church, but he goes by the name of Younger Shankman Killman,
Or gang leader.
He's been killing guys and whatnot, and then he gets caught up in something and then he dies. And I'm not saying it's entirely his fault, but the village, and by I say village, I mean that's the environment, his peers, his dad, his uncles, his aunties, whatever, have not raised, and it can be a woman as well. Have not raised this individual well enough. We look back at what Akala was saying I think it's like 75% of people who are in prison are known to social services. So there's already alarms
come through social care system.
There's already alarms ringing from early to say, watch this kid, watch this kid, watch this kid, watch this kid. But they still fall into it. It's like the self-fulfilling thing. If my dad was a drug dealer and my mum was a drug user, there's a very, very high percentage that I'm going to fall into that type of life.
Absolutely.
It's what I know. And a lot of these kids come from, you hear it all the time. Oh yeah, my dad was around. Ray Lewis, for example. Ray Lewis, his dad used to beat his mum, blah, blah, blah. Ray Lewis said he was the man of the house at 10 years old. How can you be the man of the house
when
at
I
10
hear
years
stuff like that, I sit there and go, what?
How can you be the man of the house at 10 years old?
When I hear them stories, I
Tupac.
always... Yeah, bro. I always
Tupac's
think...
mum was in jail when Tupac was pregnant, when she was pregnant with Tupac.
Mad.
Like, how do you learn from that? How do you become something so different from that if the village hasn't raised you correctly? And so it's not really a surprise when you hear. I say it's not really a surprise. It should be a surprise.
It's become the norm, basically.
But it's almost like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah,
you hear
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like, oh yeah, Darius used to strangle his, or guys has strangled his thing. Ocho Cinco is headbutted, blah blah blah. Ray Rice is.
He like beat her on the lift, innit, bro? The lift literally open. She was laying there on the floor,
like,
bro.
Really? Yeah. Like, it's almost like you stop thinking really and start thinking, oh well, I'm not surprised anymore. Yeah, it's strange, man.
When you have the Ray Rice examples like that, like, that's inexcusable.
Yeah.
But look, the lesser ones, it's like you have guys coming from where they're coming from, the environments they come from, the parents that they have, and then these people in the media want to hold them to some kind of different standard. They expect them to be
perfect,
beyond perfect. Though you can't be perfect.
Yeah,
no one can be. But they're expecting you to be beyond perfect, and it seems to be like, is it just the NFL? Is it just the NFL where they're trying to come at these players?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm sure you would agree. If you're getting paid that much, trust me, you'll learn quickly. You will learn how to make the right decisions very quickly. Because
but you don't even learn. That's just a moral. Everyone knows what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's no person, unless you have a severe, sorry, I'm going to let you finish, severe mental disability where you don't know what is right and what is wrong.
That's I disagree with that. But the reason why I disagree with that is because you learn morals. You're not born with them. Do you know what I mean? Your environment makes you understand what right and wrong is, sort of thing. Your upbringing lets you know what right and wrong is. So that's what I was saying earlier. So someone that's been brought up in an area where it's just full of gangs and violence, if he's approached wrong by someone at practice or anywhere, he might think, if I take a gun out and put it to his face, that's normal, because that's how I grew up. That's how we resolve issues where I'm from.
Normal, just because it's normal doesn't mean that it's not right or wrong.
But that's my point. So how can we say there's something wrong with these guys mentally if they don't understand what morals are?
Because unfortunately, there's no one that's been that secluded to know, and I'm using your example, that pulling out a gun on someone is the right thing to do.
There isn't, because if that was the case, there wouldn't be as many shootings or stabbings as there are.
But that's what I'm saying.
For some people, that is normal. That isn't every day.
Yeah, of course it's normal.
You've done me wrong,
I'm
going to shoot you.
That's what I'm saying.
Done me wrong,
the whole revenge thing, especially in hoods, like if you watched countless, I don't know how many times I've heard a documentary of a sports star in America, predominantly black sports star in America, saying, I've come from nothing. Rappers, whatever, I've come from nothing. Oh yeah, on that corner we used to sell drugs. Seeing 3 guys get stabbed and killed on that corner, blah 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 blah. But you know in your head.
But even that's my point. They don't know that someone getting killed tomorrow, to them, that's not wrong.
It's not wrong. Okay,
I know what you're trying to say.
I know what you're saying now. I get what you're saying.
That's not wrong.
I see what you're saying about the normal thing. I get what you're saying. It's just like an eye for an eye type of thing.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's tough to be like, they should know. That's why. So recently, I've been watching a lot of NFL Network, and there was this first black lady to be an agent.
I saw that.
And she says that when she takes some of her guys on, like, she does mini courses herself for these guys to do. And I think maybe that's what the NFL needs to start pushing now, because you can't expect everyone to have the same morals or have the same mindset coming into the league. And we're seeing it clearly now that there must be something wrong. The thing is to be happening so often, there must be something wrong.
The thing is though, like this Darius Garland in particular, it's it's not funny, but it's funny because when I read the report, it clearly said that they were concerned about his character traits coming into the league way before he.
Didn't they ask? Wasn't it?
They asked if his dad was gay or something like that.
No, yeah, they asked if his mum was a prostitute and if he was gay or something. Yeah.
The questions they ask are well weird, bruv. But
was that Zeke? It might have been Zeke.
No, it was Darius, because I remember it was Darius Guys, because I remember I followed that draft meticulously, and I was, because he comes from LSU, no?
Yeah.
And like I read the report, and they said before he was drafted, they had serious character issues. You see it a lot with a lot of players that they think, excellent ball skills but lacks character, or blah 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 blah. He's an A here, but he's a D in personality. Or even a couple of drafts ago, there was a guy I forgot what player it was. There was like, he made a comment saying how much he loves geography. Sometimes he loves geography more than football. And they took that statement, and he dropped, bruv. Purely like, I understand it's a business. Yeah. He said sometimes I enjoy geography more than football, and they were like, oh, okay, that's a weird thing to say. But like the way they don't. It's like you mentioned it earlier. They don't demonize them. They proper like, I don't know what the word is. It's a serious interrogation.
They want them to be super.
They want them to be It's like
perfect members of the community.
I've been listening to on the podcast called The Ringer NFL, and there's a guy who did a 6-part series on Cam Newton, because obviously recently now he didn't have a job and now he's with the Pats, but it was a story about how his upbringing and stuff and how his dad managed him and all this. And when he got signed by the Panthers, the owner at the time, whoever it was like, right, do you have any tattoos? Do you plan to change your hair?
Keep it like that.
Yeah. And he was like, I might want to change my hair. And the owner was like, no, your hair's fine as it is. So from day one, they're already instilling in you this: you are mine. Yeah. This is a chessboard, and I'm moving you about how I want, and you cannot do anything unless I say so. Like, it's just so very But it's mad though, because if you say that to a potential player who has a chance to be a superstar and change his life, change his family's life, you're going to go with it.
Well, you see,
like,
George, you went to school, yeah? When you're younger, some of the requirements.
George went to
school. No. I'm just saying. But when you're younger, when you were in like primary school or secondary school, one of the requirements on the list was, do not cut your hair a certain way. You're not allowed to have lines or tics.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they had that in my school, but you hear it.
Some schools, yeah.
You can't have your hair.
Because wherever you go, you represent the school. Yeah. So provided you wear that uniform, you represent our organisation. Which
is like when guys used to go and beef with Aloysius, they got to take off their blazers, bro.
There you go. So to me, if you want to get paid, then you have to do this and this. It's nothing to do with, in my opinion, slavery. You're part of our organisation, and this is the uniform that we expect.
I hear it, but I can't agree with you totally.
Yeah. If you don't want it, then go away.
No. This is without getting too deep into this whole thing, because this conversation.
This podcast, this one could go hours.
Yeah, I know.
But we have a situation where you have these athletes, who are great at what they do. Probably they have to be the best in their position to get where they are, the NFL, And then after, obviously, when they get in the NFL, there's people that are greater than them, people that are worse than them, and whatnot. The problem that we have with all these restrictions and all these things, you, me, George, Danny, Selenkay, we haven't had millionaire parents, but we understand ethics, we understand that we can't go and shoot this man because of the repercussions that happens. Until I met you guys, I was awful with money. Awful. I would spend more than I had, and I would worry about the repercussions later. My credit score was awful. You guys have taught me the ethics of building and the like importance of building credit. The mentoring in the NFL, which they need, from what that black agent was saying, is what these poorer guys with characteristic problems need. Because there are millions, and you hear about in rap music, I had nothing, went out and bought a Bugatti, and now I'm stunting on you guys. I drove past my old hood looking at my old teachers, and I'm making more money. That's not how life is, unfortunately. No. We look at America as Hollywood, but America is not Hollywood. America is a very, 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 very extremely bad country. As a whole, it's just awful, bro. There's too many states, too many laws, and too many whatever that's going on in America for the average kid from the hood, from the projects, to make it out. And that's why they say it's either rapping or going to the league, because those are the only two ways out. But if you're a poor guy from the hood who knows he's got a God-gifted talent, works on it, works his way out to the league. As Selenkay said, you're still going to think that the norm is if someone does you wrong, you're going to shoot them.
That's true. Yeah.
Because you haven't been mentored. Your still financial difficulties are going to be awful. I was speaking to, I was listening to someone speaking, and it was like, that check that they give you with that £1 million thing on it, it's not £1 million that you're getting.
Similar to this,
you're getting like 33,000 from it.
You minus all them,
But they don't know that. So they're still going out and buying £1 million houses.
Regardless of whether they know that or not, there still needs to be an element of support, and I think it was either an all or nothing or Hard Knocks ages ago where there was a player, I think it might have been an all or nothing Cowboys. One of the O-line guys was like, he sets up his own like little sessions after practice.
Finance.
He's at
Cleveland Browns, the Browns.
Yeah, he's at Tampa Bay now. I know you're talking about.
He
was teaching them about compound saving and
things like that. And there needs to be players like that across every team. And I think personally it needs to be mandatory because you've got these guys, some as young as 19 coming into the league, being given millions of pounds. Millions. Like, what do you do? If someone gave me £1 million tomorrow, even I wouldn't know.
No, true.
To be fair, I would, but I'm not in their shoes.
At 19, you wouldn't.
Not to the penny.
At 19, you wouldn't.
Not even today. Not to the penny. You wouldn't know what you're going to do.
No, not to the penny. But I think, and that it's easy for me to say that now. Like I'm an older guy, sort of thing. I understand.
But again, at 19, some of these guys have been given that.
Not even that.
That's why.
So are we saying that the money is the reason why they?
It's not just the money. It's part of the problem.
The way they're treated, like they typically they're treated as gods, bruv. In colleges, they're treated as gods.
Exactly.
They're almost untouchable.
And that mindset.
They haven't had to buy anything.
There's a documentary on Netflix, called Big Red. I don't know if you've seen it. No. It's in Ohio. You should go and watch it if you haven't watched it. So they're high school kids, and they 2 or 3 of them raped this girl in it, basically. If anyone's offended, like, or you find these things difficult to listen to, maybe you want to switch to another podcast. But X's and O's there's like a house, them frat parties, there's a house party, the red cups and that, and they literally, and they've got voice recordings and watch it.
The guys didn't do nothing.
No, the guys did. Two or three of them.
I watched another documentary similar to that.
2 or 3 of them raped her.
Yeah.
And you know how in America, like their town, if you lose, the town is live. If you lose, the town is down. And if you win, the town is up. It's literally like that, right? The whole town backed the guys. They like
crazy.
The American footballers.
They're guilty, completely guilty.
But they're American footballers.
Yeah, American footballers. Even it's high school football. Even the coach who knew what happened was backing his guy. Like,
it's a religion,
bro.
They have a day of the week.
The one lady who released all the info, I don't want to spoil it, but like it's Big Red on Netflix. Watch it. It's mad.
It's a religion. They have a day of the week in America.
Yeah.
The NFL has a day of the week in America.
It's not even that. It's 3 days a week.
Exactly.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. From high school, because you look at again. Independence when they were on
Last Chance U.
On Last Chance U. They made that whole city. They brought in all the money. If you looked at the city, boarded up houses, boarded up.
When they redid the turf for them and all that, is that not Coach Buddy, the other one, the one from Compton,
Jason Brown.
Yeah, Jason Brown.
They bought that city up. Yeah. So as you're saying, it's not even. It's a cult. American football is a cult in poor parts of the city, and again. It's all to do, as you were saying, people that don't know what right is, and I understand why you're saying that now, because the norm for them is, you get money, you spend it. You get money, you buy a big TV. You get money, you
buy your mama house.
You get money, you spend it on girls. You go to a strip club. You get money, you get yourself protected. You get money. My enemies from when I was back in Compton might come for me now that I live in Calabasas. So I need to get security. I need to get a big whap. I need to get this. I need to get that. I need to get this. And before you know it, as you said, they're broke. And this is why I think a lot of them fall into this, because their problems follow them.
That's true.
Their
friends follow them.
Look at Pop Smoke. Look at Pop Smoke.
There you go. I'll always rate a black man. Sorry to just
no man, go to your talk.
But black athletes, I will rate you if you say I'm leaving the hood and I'm leaving everybody behind.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's not easy.
It's hard.
It's hard. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's hard. But if you want a safe, because what goes up must come down. So if you want a safe decline, leave the hood. If you want to be safe coming down.
I think because them do leave the hood.
Look at Michael Vick. Look at Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. Too much of the hood with them. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with bringing
Depends on who you bring.
And for me personally, there's nothing. That's it. It depends on who you bring. There's nothing wrong with being some, because I was watching that Nicholas Anelka documentary just the other day.
I've not seen that yet.
He brought his brothers with him on the ride, and people are calling these guys a cult only because his brothers wanted the best for him. So sometimes there's nothing wrong with bringing some of it, part of it, because you need it. If you don't want to go somewhere altogether and then be like,
you're alone.
Like, yeah, man. Where my guys at, man? Like, it gets lonely at the top, man.
You can't. The thing is, I believe in being with your day ones, but only if your day ones have the best intention for you.
Yeah, Van Persie said something similar.
It's very easy to go into a new group of friends and then they don't have the best intentions for you. Look at Lonzo Ball with BBB, with Big Baller Brand, and his agent was stealing all the money from him from Big Baller Brand.
But no, Van Persie said something similar, that if you're gonna move forward and you want to bring people with you, the guys that you bring with you need to be like-minded. But if you're gonna bring people with you, this is why I agree with you. If they're not gonna be people that are gonna push you in the right direction or allow you to push them in the right direction, then you need to be cut through. Thank you very much. We're boys, but
your character is defined by who you keep around you, man.
Yeah.
Tink, you were gonna say something earlier.
Yeah. I was just gonna say about that whole culture of, like you said, these guys literally get away with murder.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. If you don't believe it, Google the name Kendrick Johnson. This is the name I had to find now.
Isn't that the guy that killed that guy with a dumbbell?
Yep, he was killed by so Kendrick Johnson was found vertically rolled up in a gym mat.
What?
In his high school.
Are you serious?
In a gym mat,
In a gym mat.
With a dumbbell.
He had, and he got ruled an accident.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure there was a detail. I'm not going to go into the details. You can read them for yourself. I think they're too gory to be on here. It clearly was murder. Then you find out who did it. It was basically this town's Captain America. Because these, you said they win the towns up, you lose the towns down. It's all they have. Like some of these towns, it's all they have. So these guys are coming through the high school system. Everything's being given to them on a platter, especially these stars. Go to college, it's the exact same thing. They get, they are getting paid. They're getting stuff.
Zion just come out and said about his family receiving stuff, innit? Like,
they're getting away with anything. So they're not learning anything on this trip. Maybe they're learning some stuff, but
a lot of them play football, but they're not learning how to be citizens.
If they're being allowed to get away with all of this, they're not learning anything. So now they get to the NFL. You were amazing in college. Yeah. Well done. That's the standard here. That's where the bar is. Being amazing in college. Now you're in the NFL. All right, good luck. Good luck. That's it now.
I feel like what's crazy is though, once they reach that popularity level that they had at sort of college, high school,
you restart.
That's when I don't think it restarts. I think that's when these things happen because sadly, it's always the big players that are going through these things, and maybe the smaller players we don't hear about as much. But I think where we follow NFL and watch American football, we know if it's sort of mediocre and fringe players were acting up, but it's always the pro ballers, the stars that are doing these things. So for me, I think it's a sense of I was the man at high school. Once you reach that sort of same level, I'm the man in the NFL. That's when they feel like above the law and they can do things. So
it's crazy, bro.
I don't know what it is. I think it's definitely a psychological thing. I don't think these guys need help per se. They just need to be mentored from as early on in the process as possible. Yeah.
And I would assume, and we got to wrap up, but I would assume that there was such a role in the NFL available to guys, just the same way how you got someone to look after your money. That there's someone to. I would assume, but
a lot of people want money.
Sometimes I don't even think, because like AP's Adrian Peterson's example was, he was in like tons of debt and he even had to he owed his car back to the dealership or whatever, and he said he lost tons of money because his own agent had let him down basically, and he had trusted the wrong friends. Like, and you'd think to yourself, what friends that you've been with for how long? Like, these guys are out to get you, sort of thing. Like, and I think as well. Not going Tinks before we wrap up.
I was just gonna say, like, again, just leading on to just basically the same thing I've been saying. Like, was it a 90-man roster at the start of the season, like start of preseason?
Yeah.
So 32 teams, 90-man roster. That's 2,880 players. Every single preseason, not including the other ones that are working out at camps waiting for their shot, not including the guys in the CFL, in college, wherever they are, practice squad, wherever they are. Like coming from, just bearing in mind everything we just discussed, there's going to be one every now and then. And it's not that often when you look at where they come from and how many there are.
Numbers,
it's not that many, but it gets a lot of attention.
Just to end it there as well, these guys will probably have a history of CTE. I don't know how much that's going to link into their behavior, but that's something to end on. Thank you for listening. Make sure you tune into all the other previous episodes. If you haven't already, subscribe to us on all the socials and check out all our content on YouTube, and we'll be back soon. Keep it locked. Peace.